Hello, my name is Jussi and I'm from SkyPlanner.ai. Now I will show you how SkyPlanner works and how to get started. But first we can start with the company information and we can go through some typical problems in manual production scheduling. Also, I will show you our solutions for those problems. About the company. We are SkyCode, Finnish-based software company, and company is founded in 97, so we have been here a while. Today we operate worldwide and we have specialists in 31 countries around the world. And our mission is to make production scheduling easy and efficient for manufacturers of all sizes through AI. And that's something what you are probably finding, easy and efficient scheduling. That's why we are here. I like to start from the problems before we go to solutions. And next I will show you some typical problems of manual scheduling. We think that human brains are not made for optimizing 600 or 6,000 jobs in the factory because human brains are made for the walking in the forest more than production scheduling. And Microsoft Excel is major market leader in production scheduling softwares. Maybe you are also using now Microsoft Excel or other manual methods in your production scheduling. And now I will show you which kind of problems you probably have now. So, these are manual production scheduling problems, typical problems. First, scheduling eats much time. It's slow and difficult. Human brains are not made for that. And when something is slow and difficult, of course, result is not so good. And in this context, it means that schedule is not efficient. And when schedule is not efficient, then your production is not efficient. And when production is not efficient, your company business is not efficient. Because there's too many variables. And it's hard to react for changes. Because everything affects for everything. And when you move one job, you have to move all the jobs. And I know you have this problem already. Okay, when it's hard to react for changes, of course, you are not updating your plan all the time. And then we go to fourth point. When you don't have updated plan, it's difficult to give customers precise promises on delivery times. And that makes poor delivery reliability many times. Also, many companies, they have difficulties to schedule materials and to make scheduling based on material availabilities. Because when important material is delayed, it destroys the plan. And then we go back to third point. Then it's hard to react for changes. And then many times there is also lack of integration, especially if you use spreadsheets for scheduling. Because data is not properly integrated between systems. Of course, there is much more problems also, but I'm quite sure you have seen these problems. Then we can go to solution. Next I will show you from which angle we are solving these problems. So, like I said, we use artificial intelligence for scheduling. And our AI, it's in-house made. So we are not using any kind of outsourced platforms. Because we need to know what AI is doing. And we don't want to make mistakes in scheduling. And our AI is very fast. It schedules even large-scale productions in seconds with one click. And it's very important to be fast because then you can make scenario work. You can also iterate your plan and you can react for changes when it's fast. It works in seconds. Next, dynamic priorities. We think that better than AI is human and AI. AI is not deciding everything. Example, AI is not deciding your customer priorities because you decide your customer priorities. And that's why you have full control what AI is doing, and you are the driver of this car, not AI. AI is the car. So we have a very nice dynamic priority system. You can say priorities for many things like the orders, order items, for customer priorities, product category priorities, etc. Many kind of priorities. And then we have also priorities of priorities. So we have multi-level prioritizing. So you have full control for AI. AI can make also material scheduling. And AI consider the material availabilities in scheduling. We get all material informations, example via integration from your ERP, or you can manage these material informations in SkyPlanner also. So we get material stock levels, we get material purchase orders, estimations of arrivals, also arrived materials, then reservations and consumptions. So we get all material information. And with that information, AI schedules jobs based on your material availabilities also in the future. So we know when it's possible to do this job based on its materials. And when we find out that there's 1 week delay in your material deliveries, there is same 1 week delay in your production also, because AI reacts when there's changes. We have good capacity management feature also, because capacity usage is something what we are optimizing. And for optimizing your capacity usage, you need to know your capacity. And not only how much you have capacity, because it's also important to know when and where you have capacity, because right timing is important in fine level scheduling. In our capacity management system, you can easily say that in this workstation we have morning shift every weekday, and then it makes automatically your all morning shifts. Then you can manage the changes like sick leaves, machine maintenances and additional shifts, and that's how we get capacity. Then, user-friendly user interface. Is it important in industrial sector also? We think that it is. But you know how typical factory software looks. But when you go home, you use nice softwares. Why not to use nice softwares at the work also? It makes everything easier. It's easier to roll out the software to your colleagues when it's easy to use. We have focused very much to user-friendly user interface. GANTT Timeline. Every software has GANTT Timeline, but it's a good way to show time. We have also GANTT Timeline. And from our GANTT Timeline, you can monitor your production and you can control the AI. It's good user interface for that. Then we have shop floor app and MAS. So we collect feedback from your production. We have time tracking features. Then we know which jobs are done and which are not done. And we can react for changes. And we can also collect more information like quality information, material consumption, etc. And reporting platform. We have nice reporting platform. It's easy to make custom reports with our platform. And there is basic reports already in the SkyPlanner. So, next we can go and look the software, not only my blue eyes. So, let's start with the SkyPlanner.
Here you see SkyPlanner's GANTT timeline, where time goes from left to right. Here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we can look to the future and we can look to the past when we drag with our mouse. We can also zoom in, and here you see times, and we can zoom in even to the minute level if you have very small jobs, or we can zoom out to the monthly level. This is how you move at the timeline. These are workstations, your resources. Like this is saw number 1 and its job queue, saw number 2 and its job queue. Every workstation has its own unique job queue. And workstations can be machines, these can be humans or group of humans or subcontractors. But these are resources which are doing their own unique job queue. And meaning of workstation, it's different in different industrial sectors. In this case, workstations are machines. These green backgrounds here, these are capacities. These are coming from our capacity planning tool. There you can say that you have morning shift in this workstation every weekday. Then it makes automatically your all morning shifts. Then you can manage the changes, like sick leaves, machine maintenances, additional shifts. And that's how we get capacity. And for optimizing your capacity usage, you need to know your capacity. Not only amount of capacity, it's also important to know when and where we have capacity, because this right timing is important. And like you can expect, these black boxes, these are jobs. And when you activate the job, you see its routing, workflow. Like for this product, first we do sewing, then it goes to machining, then it goes to welding, and last is packing. And different jobs can have different workflows. And these workflows can be very simple or very complicated. There is no any limits. You can manage these in here in SkyPlanner. You can get more information about the job when you double click the job. Easy way to get more information. Even more information you can get from job details. Here you see order level. Then there's order items and sub-items under the order. Then there's routings under the order items. It's like tree model of your order or project. In GANTT Timeline, you can see whole order's future based on its items. It's like more rough report of your order. And materials are important. Here we see bill of materials. We get all material information. So we get material stock levels, material purchase orders, deliveries, reservations, consumption of materials. And with that information, AI simulate your material level movings to every coming time point. So it knows when it's possible to do this job based on its materials. And if there is small delay in your material deliveries, there is same small delay in your production because you can't make your products without material. But only if you use material scheduling. Okay. These jobs, these are already scheduled to production plan. Next we want to go and make one new order and schedule that order to production plan via AI. So we go here, orders. Here we have order management. Of course, orders can come from your ERP system via integration. We have very good REST API. Also, orders can come via CSV import. Or for many customers, SkyPlanner is their only software. They can manage orders here by clicking this Create Order button. Okay, now I show you which kind of data we are using in scheduling. It asks us order number, it asks us delivery date, it asks us start eligibility date if you want to say. Then there is prospect feature. This is for salespeople and for forecasts. With prospect feature, you can simulate realistic delivery dates for your possible orders. Because we use AI, why not to help salespeople's life? Okay, then we choose the customer. I click Save. And now we have order. Next we want to do first order item for this order. And like you see, software is very easy to use because it's saying you all the time what you need to do next. And there is tutorial videos about everything. So we click here, Create Order Item. And we choose product from product registry. Of course, if you manufacture unique products, you can build all product informations and routings straight to the order. But of course it makes your life easier if you use product templates from product registry. Then it asks us production quantity, ordered quantity. Those can be different because sometimes you make also to your warehouse. Then there's attachments and additional informations. If you use our shop floor app, MAS, you can add attachments, and when your employees are starting their job, they can look those attachments via their mobile phone or tablet or desktop. Okay, I click Save. And now we have order. Then there is one order item under the order. Inside this order item we are doing this product, example product number 1. We are doing one piece of this product. And this is routing for this product. So first process step is sewing, then there is machining, then there is welding, and last is packing. If you want to say that this time welding is before machining, you can drag and drop or pack. Or if you want to say that there is additional machining, you can add it, then you can drag and drop it, or you can take it off. Because this routing editor is in daily use, of course we want that it's very easy and fast to use. You can also copy steps, paste steps, or import steps from old orders. Also, there is bill of materials here. Also, you can add sub-items if you want, like sub-assemblies, etc. Okay, first process step is sewing. And we have said that it takes 4 hours per piece. And here we are saying that we are doing one piece of this product. So total time is 4 times 1, 4 hours. But like you know, there is more details in process step, what we can manage. And we can click here, gear icon, and go deeper to this sewing process step. Okay, because it's sewing, of course, it can be done only at sew machines. So capable optional workstations are sew number 1 or sew number 2. AI decide which machine we use, but we can give the options. And if your only option is sew number 1, you can take sew number 2 off. Now it absolutely goes to sew number 1. or we can add saw number 2 back. We have also workstation efficiencies. So saw number 2 can be faster than saw number 1. Also, if you want to say that it's possible to split this job and use multiple resources for this job, you can allow splitting. Here we are saying that it takes 4 hours per piece. But sometimes it's easier to say how many pieces per hour. Or fixed time, if you have oven, it's every time 1 hour, example. But yeah, this 4 hour, this is only my own estimation. Real life can be different. This can be 3 hour, 36 minutes, or 4 hour, 11 minutes. So real life can be different than our estimations. But good thing in this software is that when you have done this product few times, you can click here, magic icon. It's learning from history. So it knows already, because I have made customer demonstrations with this SkyPlanner, it knows that this will not take 4 hours. It seems to be 2.2 minutes in my customer demonstrations. And it's quite right. So I can accept this estimation, or I can say that no, I know better, it's 4 hours. You can decide. Then it asks us setting time, that's before the job, cleaning, tool change, preparations. Then it asks us teardown time. That's moving time between machines. So maybe paint need to dry, or there is internal logistics, etc. If I say 1 hour teardown, that means that next process step can't start before we have waited 1 hour after this process step. Then, minimum degree of manufacture. That's opposite of teardown. What if next process step can start before we have finalized this sewing? What if next process step can start when 10% of this process step is done? It's like overlapping. Okay. Now we are happy with this order, an order item and these process steps. So next what we want to do is to schedule this order to production via AI. And we have big button here for that, schedule to production. And now I push the button. Okay, it's scheduled now. Next we want to view it in timeline. So I click it again. Okay, it found the place. Every time when we schedule new order to production, we schedule it first via free capacity. Next I show you how we can schedule whole factory with one click. But first we schedule new orders via free capacity. And it's blue because it's draft, because you might want to cancel your draft. But we can accept this draft here. Okay. Now your employees, they can see that there is new job in their job queue. But we have small problem here because that job will be late. It's my fault because I said that we need to deliver this today. Of course, there is no enough day left. But still, this is only which is late. I think there is plenty of time to deliver these orders. Maybe 1 year or 2 year time in my demo data. And this red one, red means that it will be late. It's only urgent order. So of course we don't want to do this here at the end of queue. We want to do this order here at the start of queue. Start it immediately at show machine. And I made this mistake because I want to show you a logical problem of manual scheduling. Now I show you why manual scheduling never works. Now we can imagine that we are doing this scheduling with Excel or ERP manual scheduling tool. And we want to move this only red order to start of queue and start it immediately. But we see here that it's impossible to add any new orders or jobs here at show machines because whole day is full. Okay, maybe we start pushing this whole row forward then, because we want to free space here and start new job immediately. But if we start pushing this whole row forward and we push this job forward, what happens here? Because this job, this operation, need to be done before we can start this. And if I push this job forward, I break the workflow here. It's an impossible situation. So then I need to start pushing this row forward also. And then easily I break workflow here. And when I push this job forward, then I break workflow here. And because there's lines to every direction, everything affects for everything. That's the logical problem of manual scheduling. In change situation, when you try to fix your plan, you break it more than you fix it. And when you go and fix those problems, again you break it more than you fix it. And that's unlimited limbo. Maybe you have seen this. Okay. Solution. Only logical solution for this kind of change situation is that when you want to fix your plan, you don't want to touch for one work per time or one row per time. You want to touch to every jobs together and move those based on each other. That's the only logical solution. And we have solution here. We think that every software needs to have king button and we have it here. When I push king button, I ask from AI that schedule this whole factory with one click. They count all data what we have given. They count all priorities and priorities of priorities what we have given. And also make it fast. Now I push the button. Okay, production planning is made. It was quite fast. And yeah, it recognized that it's a good idea to do this job first. Because it's most urgent. Maybe you want to see how human can control this process. Because of course, AI is not deciding everything. AI is not deciding your customer priorities, example. You decide your customer priorities. So better than AI is human and AI. We can manage priorities here from job rules, example. This is lowest level, process steps. You can log to current workstation. Then AI is not changing workstation anymore for this job. AI can change time, but not workstation. You can also log all changes. Then it's like nailed to place where it is already. AI is not touching for that job. AI can move other jobs if needed. You can also allow splitting, say buffer days before delivery dates, etc. Then there is order item priorities. You can say priority for order item. There's many kind of priorities in SkyPlanner. There is customer priorities, product category priorities, very many kind of priorities. Also, you can decide scheduling direction, like scheduling direction from this moment to future, or if somebody orders something for next year, maybe you don't want to start it yet, then you can choose backward scheduling, just-in-time manufacturing. Then, because this software is made with the customers, this is very nice feature, fast track. Because AI makes the scheduling. Then you look the scheduling and you maybe want to say, can I do this order first? Yeah, you can add it to fast track. Then you don't need to make any manual changes. Add it to fast track and then it overrides everything. It goes to first place. And it's a sophisticated feature. There can be many levels of fast track items. So you don't need to make any manual changes. Then there is order level priorities. Then there is global rules like running time lock. You might want to say that I don't like last minute changes. You can add 5 hours of running time lock. Then here is never any changes in next 5 hours. It's running. These can change, these can't change. It makes peace to your production. Then here is many configurations. This software is configurable. We have more than 1,000 different kind of configurations. This software is not made for specific industrial sector because this is general scheduling software. It's configurable. It works in metal industry, in electric industry, plastic industry, or in city theaters or healthcare because it's configurable. Maybe basic configurations are okay for you at start, but maybe your production will be changing something somehow in next years. Now you know that still you can configure SkyPlanner to your new setups. That's important thing for us. Okay, but this is nice because every day you prioritize, but many times your prioritizes are against each other. So there is conflicts between your prioritizes. That's why it's only logical that you can manage here prioritizes of prioritizes also. Now you can make multi-level prioritizing. You can say customer priorities for some customers, but then you can say if customer priorities are important against like lead time or not. And maybe you need this. You want to make similar jobs in succession and save in changeovers, save in setting times. Now you can say that you may do it right amount, not too much, because if you make that too much, it's conflict with reliability. If you make it too less, it's conflict with efficiency. You want to make this right amount. Okay, and of course you need to be sharp what you ask, because you get exactly what you ask. But then you can look the plan and ask, can I change my wishes? Yeah, go and change your prioritizes and you get the new plan. And people call this scenario work. Now you can do scenario work. And sometimes people are asking me if human stop thinking now when AI makes production scheduling. But my answer is that humans start thinking now. Because look this small factory here. who want to make scheduling manually for this small factory and take count all capacities, delivery dates, priorities, everything? I think that nobody wants to make scheduling manually for this kind of tiny factory, because this looks like Tetris. This is not good thinking for human brains. I think also that nobody wants to make scheduling manually for bigger factory than this, if there is good tools available for scheduling. Yeah, this looks like Tetris, and this is not good thinking for human brains. Better thinking for human brains are monitoring your production, development for your production, solving problems in your production, and by the way, in this case, beforehand. There is data entries, there is teaching, communication, etc. There is enough that kind of work. But now AI makes scheduling and you control the AI with your priorities and data. So AI takes your data and makes optimized scheduling based on your priorities. And AI reacts if there is need for reaction. If there is no need for reaction, AI not react. Now you can focus for your work when AI helps you in scheduling.
Next I can show you typical problem in industrial sector and how to react for that problem. What if CNC machine number 1 is out of service tomorrow? There is jobs and nobody is coming to do these jobs tomorrow. Let's see what happens. So we can go to shift scheduling. This is our shift calendar. Here we have days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. These are workstations. So this is CNC machine number 1. And this is Friday, tomorrow. We take off a morning shift and we take off evening shift. Now there is no shifts tomorrow at CNC machine number 1. So you see that there is no any more green capacity background under these jobs. So nobody is coming to do these jobs tomorrow. So our plan is outdated and we want to update our plan. But you know which button we're gonna push. We push king button. Okay. Scheduling is done. So we see that this job was here, it changed the machine. This job was here, it changed the machine. Changed the day, changed the machine. And we can accept this plan. Okay, quite fast, react. Next I can show you how your employees can see this plan. We don't want to show them any kind of GANTT timelines. We want to show them a simple list. So your employees, they can log into SkyPlanner with their mobile phones or tablets or computers. And they will see this, a simple list. Now I'm operator at zone number 1. And now I'm operator at zone number 2. And these are my jobs. This is my first job. This is my second job. This is my third job. I can get more information about the job from show more. Here I can see if there is any kind of job instructions, etc. And now we can start the job. I select the job and then I push big play button. And time start ticking. So now I will put my device back to the table and I start doing my job. But next we can go back to timeline and we can see how my manager sees that I'm doing my job at zone number 2. So we click production scheduling and look, it's green now. So now you can see who is doing and what, and you can see also if somebody is doing nothing. And if we zoom in more, we can see that there's 2 lines now. This is estimated line and this is actual. So this is real-time tracking. Now you don't need to ask same questions from same people every day and think who is doing which kind of jobs, because you can see everything in real time. And like you remember, we are using this information in our learning algorithm. So your data will get better automatically all the time. Okay, we can go back to timer. And we are now finalizing our job. So I click pause button. And here we can ask whatever you want to ask from your employee. In my demo version, it asks only description if they have something to say. But we can ask here many kind of questions. We can have like 1 kilometer list of questions because this is customizable feature. We can ask quantities. We can ask material consumption. We can ask quality questions like faulties. We can ask them to take picture with their mobile phone, or we can have button that machine is broken. And then we can talk what we can do with that information, but it's easy way to collect information from your production. I mark task as completed and I log time. Now, this is my next job. And next we can go back to timeline and see how it looks. Look, it's done now. And we was faster than expected. Here we have free capacity. Maybe we start this job next, but maybe we want to update our plan. But you already know which kind of button we're gonna push if you want to update your plan. We push king button. And schedule is optimized now. And you don't need to even push this button because it can be automatic also. It can keep your production scheduling updated all the time automatically. But now you know how to collect feedback from your production. SkyPlanner software pricing is monthly based. And minimum price is 199 euros per month. And that includes 5 first workstations. Next additional workstations are 20 euro per month per workstation. And now you maybe ask, what is a workstation? Workstation is your resource. It can be machine or human resource or subcontractor. So how many unique job queues we need to schedule? And users are not workstations. So you can have how many users you want. So if you want to know how much SkyPlanner costs for you, calculate amount of your workstations. And look also definition of workstation if you want to get clarification of meaning of workstation. We also in our homepage there's calculator where you can calculate exact amount how much monthly costs are for you in our pricing page. Next I can tell you about our happy services. You don't need to do this alone. We have services because even when SkyPlanner is easy software, still production optimization is not easy topic. it's better to do that project together, because you know exactly your production. We know exactly the SkyPlanner. Together we make a good team. So we have three different kind of services. We have onboarding services. We will configure SkyPlanner to your production. We will teach you to use SkyPlanner very well, and we get familiar with your production processes. Then you have dedicated contact person. Our specialist will help you to make proof of concept. We have also integration services, so if you want to integrate SkyPlanner to your ERP system, we have those services, and we have also integration partners, and it's also possible that your IT team can do the integration. Then we have also customization services. If there is anything missing, even when SkyPlanner is cloud-based software, it's still possible to customize SkyPlanner. Ask us more. Okay, how to get started? It's easy, because like you have seen, SkyPlanner is easy software, so we can make proof of concept very easily. And we have 8-hour onboarding package. It means 4 times 2-hour workshop. It takes about from 2 to 4 weeks, depends of your calendar also. Our specialist will contact you. He will understand your production, he will configure SkyPlanner to your production, and he will teach you to use SkyPlanner very well. Then you can make proof of concept with our specialist. Then it's easy to make decisions. And the cost is 1,399 euros, one-time fee. And then you see SkyPlanner up and running in your production, and then you can decide to go to production use with it after proof of concept. Of course, this is risk for you, but it's also risk if you don't try SkyPlanner. After this onboarding project, it's possible for you to buy more services if you feel that you need more services. We can make integrations, customizations, and additional consultation. It costs 180 euro per hour. And these are 4 workshops which are included to onboarding package. In first workshop, we understand your production processes and your needs. Then we install your SkyPlanner and we configure it together. Then you also learn how to configure SkyPlanner. Then we train you to use SkyPlanner very well. And then you can make proof of concept. And then we have results. And then we can make roadmap for production use. This saves your time. And here we have a typical SkyPlanner project roadmap. Onboarding project takes like from 2 to 4 weeks, about a month, because you want to play with it and you want to learn more about SkyPlanner. So it looks like this. Then if you need any kind of customization or integration, we can do it, or our partners can do it, or you can do it. And here we are ready to go to deployment. SkyPlanner is up and running, and we can do it together. And we have weekly meetings, and we can make weekly meetings so long that you are saying for us that we don't need to meet every week. But we will do this together. So, thanks. Book meeting with me and we can talk more. I can tell you more about SkyPlanner project, and I like to hear more about your production and about your needs. Thank you very much. I wish I can see you soon. Bye.